try. No hell below us, above us only sky.
Welcome. It is Thursday. It is time for VFI Educates. Today is episode number 220, and we are delighted to have a very attractive young lady from Israel speaking with us, standing in front of an Israeli flag. She'll be introduced in a minute. Meanwhile, we got some quick announcements. The first one is I wanted to just explain again what the story is between Sarel and VFI. And the story is quite simple. They are two separate individual corporations in two different countries that partnered for about 40 years and then decided that, or Sarel actually decided that they wanted to take the volunteering, or the recruitment of volunteers from America internally. So they acquired some internal assets to do that, and they basically are proceeding on their own. So VFI, meanwhile, with a huge background of 42 years of service and dozens of people in the field involved. We have rebranded ourselves. We are currently working on a couple of projects that I'll bring to your attention right now. The first one is our website, which only right now is a landing page, is being worked on and will be available hopefully in the next couple of weeks as a brand new website and showing off new characteristics. Lots of photos, lots of feel-good types of things on the website. And the website will point to several programs. Some of the programs are already in existence. For example, there's one that starts in like 4 or 5 days, and it has to do with farming. And if you wanted to see what that program is all about, I can just tell you, go to this little website called tinyurl.com/VFI farm. And that'll explain what that current program is. That program will rerun in the fall more than once this year. Another program, which starts on April 5th or so, is an archaeology and a service program. And that's available for review at tinyurl.com/VFI arch, ARCH. That program, which is, to me, is quite fascinating, is a week on a archaeological dig with real archaeologists under Tel Aviv University's auspices in Old City, Jerusalem, digging at a level probably equivalent to around 586 BC, which is the destruction of the first temple and the destruction of Jerusalem and the beginning of the exile. We're talking about ancient history here, but it's all biblical and it's all real. And the on-site digging is real. That goes on for a week with the archaeologists. Then some touring with Julia, followed by spending a week from Sunday to Thursday in the Gaza envelope, attending to the repair and rehabilitation of the homes and schools that were ravaged on October 7th. And so this program is a two-edged program, 1 week here, 1 week there. We do have opportunities for people to sign up now, and it is an all-inclusive program. That means that there's one fee which covers everything: hotels, transportation, food, touring, tips, just about anything you can think of, except if you want to buy gifts. We don't throw that in. That you're on your own. So that program is up now. It's at tinyurl.com/VFI arch, ARCH. Additional programs will be coming out. The next one, which I'll give you an alert to, has to do with a rehab hospital in Tel Aviv. And we will be opening up 2-week assignments there. Actually, in that hospital and in general in Israel, their use of volunteers with the hospital staff is quite different than the American use of hospital volunteers, of which I am one in an ER room in Philadelphia. They integrate them completely. They have you do things as a volunteer that the American medical systems wouldn't dream of allowing you to do, including little things, maybe feeding babies, feeding patients, walking people around, conversations with patients, helping out with the doctor service. I mean, it's a whole realm of things. Anyhow, it's 2 weeks integrated right into the hospital. and surrounded by Touring with Julia. Also, a fixed price, all-encompassing price, and that's being developed right now. Hopefully, next week or two, we'll be publishing that. And that program, we hope, will run every month, starting on the first Friday of the month for 2 weeks. That's our current plan. We'll see how it gels, but I just wanted to let everybody know about those new programs. So that's what I've got today. Just keep in mind, we have a solar eclipse coming up on the East Coast. For those folks, don't get blinded. Get those glasses. This is serious. I have spent some time in South America, in the Caribbean, with a 3-minute eclipse, and I can visualize how dangerous it is if you try to look at it naked eye. So just a caution from personal experience. Anything you'd like to add, Ilana?
No, I think you got everything. It's time to start.
All right, thank you. All right, in that case, I wonder if Miss Julia can't go forward and introduce our wonderful speaker for today.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be delighted. I'll be privileged, and I really want to thank Osnat for taking the time to prepare this presentation, to sit down and think about it and do all of it for us. So thank you so much, personally. I met Osnat personally a couple of weeks ago in Netiv Haasara, where we were volunteering in greenhouses for a day. It was really hard, dusty, and sweaty, and we got friends. And then we also found out that she lives nearby, so we are connected. Now the formal introduction will be Osnat Sofer is 51 years old and married with 2 children. She was born in kibbutz Ein Gev by the Sea of Galilee. Her family moved to Netiv Haasara while it was still in Sinai, and she was evacuated after the peace agreement with Egypt back in 1982. Osnat worked as an economist for 20 years in the business world, founded a patisserie, and 3 years ago, she established a tourism company offering trips and retreats. When the war began, she left it all behind, and she started her new job, new career, new full-time occupation at the Dead Sea, and this is what she will be sharing with us now. So, Osnat, toda rabba, and break a leg.
So is it good morning to you all, yeah? Or noontime, wherever you are. I just want to start and say thank you for all you're doing and the projects, and even, sitting and listening and being caring for us, and the situation is really warm-hearting. And I think that this is one of the things that will cure us when we know we are not alone. Each one of us, when we know that we are not alone, wherever we are, whatever we do, this is very comforting. So thank you for that. And 2 days ago, I went to the Dead Sea area. I have a little thing to say that, and we were closing all the warehouses because there are not a lot of people right now in the hotels there. And we moved all the huge warehouses we have to the north, where there are 80,000 people who don't live in their houses right now, and they need us more right now. So we moved it, and then there were 2 beautiful ladies, and I saw a white T-shirt, and it says Sarel, and I told them, hey, so I don't know if they're here, but I took them down to see the warehouse, and I do it, and I speak to you, and I do it gladly, because I think it is so important, these connections, and these are corporations, and so that what it's all about. So yeah, you know about me a little now, and the first month of the war, I was busy with finding places for families to make a shiva. In Netiv Haasara, the settlement where I came from and where I met Julia, there were 11 people murdered. And to make a shiva in a hotel, it's not, that's what it was. But we found places and houses, and we just managed to somehow make it proper so people can come and make the Shiva in their houses. And as soon as my daughter went to the army, I just left everything, left my husband working at home and went down to the Dead Sea. I have a daughter who is now in the Navy. She dives. She's in a small unit. They dive underwater and do all these, I don't want to know what they do down there. And in August, my son is going to the SEALs, also. So I'm going to have 2 children in the army. And good luck for me. Maybe I don't know what will happen in August, but it's going to be tough. But we'll stay optimistic. So as soon as she was enlisted to the army, I took a little bag and I left to the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea is area with 14 hotels. And in these 14 hotels, in the first 2-3 days of the war, about 12,000 people just ran whatever they had in their hands, either babies or whatever they managed to take under fire. All right, people went under fire. People took them out of their homes and just took them down to the Dead Sea and other places. But so there were about 12,000 people coming from Sderot. If I'm talking, I'm not a formal person, okay? If you want to ask questions, if you don't understand, just tell me, okay? I'm open to all. I'm flexible. And there were about 8,000 people came from Sderot, from the town in the Gaza envelope. There were kibbutz Be'eri with all the traumatic thing that happened to them. They just went to one big, huge hotel called David. There were another kibbutz called Kisufim, who they had about 20 murdered. They have 1 kidnapped hostage. A lot of foreign workers dead. So about 5 kibbutzim, and we had Sderot, we had Kiryat Shmona, we had Ashkelon, we had Ofakim, Netivot. The first week was horrible. Everybody came there. And I don't know if you know the Dead Sea, but the Dead Sea actually has nothing. It has no supermarket, no farm, no nothing. So 12,000 people came. We built a little town, and now we had to take care of their basic needs, even food for babies, diapers, for the old people, clothes, everything. Nothing was there. So I'm going to pause for a second and explain about the organization that I work in. I don't know if you can see the shirt. It's called the Hamal Ezrachi. It's a civil operation room. Until the 6th of October, there was one organization, non-profit organization called Achim LaNeshek, Brother in Arms. I don't know if you know this organization. It was established by several guys who decided that the government doesn't act properly with some justice system that they're trying to change, and start making the protest, all over Israel. And they also they took all kind of actions, which I can't say it's not political, okay, but it was not left and right. It was specifically about democracy, about legal system. And I can understand why people thought it was political, but at the 7th of October, the minute the war began, this organization decided that it's civil now. It has nothing to do with politics. It takes all its money, all its efforts, all its energy, all its people. We had about hundreds of people. Today we're thousands of people volunteering, and it's there for the people, for the communities. And so we have this shirt, and not the I don't know, it's like the color of the army, like khaki. I don't know how you say it in English, but we manufactured these shirts so we can get into Sderot's hotel to the people who don't think like me politically, and they will accept my donations. The thing, I come with open hands to help them. I need them to accept it. And if I come with the other shirt that is like recognized with a political action, there was no way we could do it. And so we started working, and we built 11 kindergartens, religious, non-religious, Orthodox, special needs. We built schools, and also special needs school, Orthodox, non-Orthodox, religious, non-religious. We built for the kibbutzim also, and we bought about 150 laundry machines, dryers. We supplied every day shampoo, toothpaste, whatever women needs, farms for the little ones, for the big ones. We were doing everything so fast. In 10 days, people could go to the school. There were activities, performances, and I want to mention again that Dead Sea is nothing like other places where people came, because it has nothing. There is not even shopping mall. There is nothing. We couldn't, everything we had to bring from the center. And it was a very big challenge. But we said that we don't know how to say no for nothing. We said everything was possible. And so I was in charge of the operation. I had one person in each hotel who was working with the communities there. We day by day, we had more people involved. And so it was beautiful to see the cooperation between us as my representatives of Hamal Ezrachi in the hotels. And like the people of the kibbutzim was much easier to work with, because you're similar to them, okay? And the Sderot was very challenging. I'm coming from a kibbutz. My father was captivated in the 6 Days War. And when he was supposed to come back, it was Saturday when he was supposed to be released. And the rabbi of the army did not release him because it's Saturday. So that's how I was raised, that religion is not, Israeli religion today is not what it used to be. And I was raised that it's not a good thing. It's not an acceptable thing. And so when I came to Sderot and to the people, with the very Orthodox people, it was challenging. It was very challenging, but it was possible. So in one way, it was very hard, and people are traumatic, very traumatic there. But on the other hand, I always say, I come with long, open arms and big heart, and just accept it. And we are human beings, and it took some time for us to get connected, but we did. In the first days, the hotels where people from Sderot lived, they didn't let me in. They said, the war is because of you, and whatever. And it was hard, it was tough, but we did it. And also, it's a mega event, okay? Whatever happened in Israel, it's a mega event in all aspects. And also, the town of Sderot was, it's about 40,000 people, and they're all over Israel. They're divided into about 100 hotels. So even the municipality of Sderot cannot take care of her people, its people in 100 hotels. So we are there. The Hamal Ezrachi was there from day one. We are still there. We're going with her. I'll talk about it in the future. So we're there, and they could lean on us. And you have to understand that today there are not a lot of people in Israel you can lean on. You can put your head on their shoulders. You are either kidnapped or know somebody who was kidnapped. You're either have somebody you know who was murdered. You're either a mother of a soldier in Gaza. You're either somebody in a residence. So it touches everybody. And we were people who you can lean on, and it's very important. We say yes to everything. There is nothing we can do. And so we did these basic in the first 1 month and a half. We just gave everybody their basic needs. Just 1 second, we could, ease down a little. And once I understood that everybody's settled by the material issues, I thought that we need to take care, we need a massive treatment, okay? I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a social worker, and there was a big place in the Dead Sea that one nonprofit organization brought, it's called chosen, it's called strength, like mental strength. And they open a place where you can come and have treatments, personal treatments, psychologists, all kind of therapists. But I understood that we need massive treatments in big numbers, because you could go in outside the hotels and you didn't see anybody. People didn't go out of their hotels. They woke up in their pajama, went down to eat breakfast in their pajama, went to eat lunch in their pajama. We brought a lot of activities to the hotels every day. There were either performances or art and craft or some things for the babies and for the children and for the elderly. We tried to have some activities because, again, there is nothing to do in the Dead Sea. Even though, it's so beautiful there in the winter, you can see the mountains and the deep and the sea, but nobody could actually see it. Okay, you could not, people didn't raise their eyes and saw this beautiful. It was very, very sad. And I have to say that everybody's traumatic there. Okay, it's not only Be'eri, okay, or the kibbutzim who were really the center of the event, but also Sderot, because when you're in a kibbutz, you have a strong community holding you. You have somebody to take care of you, somebody to count on. And Sderot, they're just, civils. They live in apartments, and they don't have like this group, like the community. The word community today, as I find it, it's the most important thing. You are part of a community. There is somebody who's taking care of you. You belong to somebody. You're not alone. You're not alone. I always say we're not alone. We cannot leave anybody alone. This is very important for healing. So I understood I have to take out these people out of their pajamas and take them out to see nature, to see sunlight, to see that nature is here for them. And, I'm always saying also that we have no ground right now. We have nothing to support us from down there. And that's why I want them to go to trips. And I brought some bicycle nonprofit organization called Edgarim. It's an organization that acts with special needs children in three kinds of sports, either bicycle, kayaks, water, and climbing, like all kinds of rope stuff. And I brought them down there so they can have some activities outside. We took them out for school to do it. We took them out from kindergartens and after school. And for the elderly, it was beautiful. And a lot of them learned for the first time to ride bicycle. It was really exciting. A lot of magics happened in there. And I know it's not either bad or good or bad. There is a lot. It's very complicated. And this mixture of communities brought out beautiful and exciting moments. Okay, so in one point we realized, we know it in Israel, all the how do you call them? The people that they're not in their house right now, they are evacuated people. They eat the same food three times a day for months. They don't have their own food, what they like to cook. There is nowhere else to cook. There are no restaurants. There are no supermarkets. So I built a kitchen, like a public kitchen. And we did it like a very home style, so they can feel at home and they can eat outside and they can cook and the children can have what they want and give them this sense of home and the memories that they remember from the home, their pasta or their egg and salad, whatever they like, it doesn't matter. And this act that the mother can cook for her child or for her husband or for the families, and they can sit together. This is there are no magic, okay? The way we're going to heal, it's a bit by bit, a small step by small step, another meal, another cook. That's how it goes. It's going to work. There are no magics. And that works pretty well. It's still working. It's really nice. Still working. I was there the other day, and the people of kibbutz Cholit, they opened a pub. So they invited me to the pub, and then they brought the cakes they made in the kitchen. It was really nice, and said, "Okay, working. I'm happy." And then I decided that another thing that is very important for our well-being, we need to take care of the well-being, is I took one. There is like a very small and not neglected shopping mall, and I took a huge room there and I opened a studio for art, and I wanted people to come and do whatever they want, draw, use pottery, paint, whatever they want, they can come. So I took this place, I just bought every kind of equipment. I don't know, I'm not very good at art, but I just bought everything. Just come, just draw, just create, just express yourself through art. And it was hard in the beginning because, again, people don't go out of the hotel. I'm talking about 2 minutes walk. It's not more than that, but still people don't go out of the hotels. People don't go out of their rooms. Children don't go in elevators. All kind of every noise scares them. I didn't understand it until I was there. Okay, I I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it's real. It's reality. But then when you actually see it, it's like a mind blower. You don't. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy, the situation. And that's why I'm saying that everybody's traumatic. Even if your family is, alive, you're still traumatic. You lost your confidence. You lost your security. Men lost their, they feel bad because they couldn't save their families. They couldn't take care of the families, of their well-being. Everybody's conscious works extra hours these days. So the studio actually became very, very active. I brought some teachers just to help it go around, but I didn't want it. I wanted them to have a key. You come whenever you want, night, day, whenever you want, you come. And also nights, I can tell you that nights are very active in the Dead Sea because people don't sleep. You can go in the lobby and see a lot of people just can't go to sleep, awake. And it's pretty sad. And being there, I felt that I'm in the middle of the event, the civil event. I'm not in Gaza with the soldiers, but this is the civil event. And when I was there, I could choose every day. I woke up in the morning and I said, okay, Osnat, how many mitzvahs do you want to make today? You can make 1, 2, 10, 20. You just stop people in the middle of the street and you just ask them what you need, and they all need something. They have businesses that were neglected. They have a lot of issues, family issues between couples, just imagine sleep together with either your husband and children or whoever, you're together for 5 months. You can get crazy just with that. And it's very sad, and a lot of exciting things happen, as I told you, because these communities of Sderot, like I told you about communities all day. So there was the artistic community, and there were the Sderot community that, in a way, every hotel became a community, because they see each other in the morning, and they see each other in lunch and in the lobby and in the performance, and they celebrate together, birthdays, whatever. We arranged weddings, we arranged bar mitzvahs. We had one time we took 60 bat mitzvah girls, and we just make them the best time ever. We have Metzadah there, so we went to Metzadah, and we brought them all kind of, TikTok guys that know what to do with them, and food and presents. So whatever we could do to make them well or better was very. We were there for that. In the beginning, we were about 25 people in the Hamal Ezrachi, and a bit by bit, we were stable about 12. We were about 12 in the team. And you have to, if you can imagine these 5 months, in the beginning, there was a lot of energy and material and donations and volunteers to the Dead Sea. It was crazy. People came just with trucks of clothes and all kinds of equipment and therapists. They all want to help. It was amazing, very exciting. But after 2 months, people, naturally went back to their lives. So in the Dead Sea, we stayed. Our decision in the Hamal Ezrachi was to stay there, and not only stay there, we are going with them back to their permanent places, to the settlements. The Hamal Ezrachi today, these days, is going to become a nonprofit organization that has a plan 10 years ahead. In order to make, as my boss said, it's like the new Zionism, okay, the new Tzionut. We understand that we need to be in these settlements wherever they are, it doesn't matter. And today, in each kibbutz, in each moshav, in each city, we have Hamal Ezrachi representative, and the goal is to make the settlement better, to make the society, business, and chevra and community. Yeah, society, community, and business. These are the main issues that the Hamal Ezrachi is going to take care of. And today we have teams building kindergartens all over the place, in the north, in the south, in the center, everywhere. We have a team. They go wherever a kindergarten has to be established, and they just open. We help business of the reserve people. Reserve, miluimnikim, yeah, Julia? Reserve, yeah? We help them in their business, because after 5 months in Gaza, business has to be rehabilitated. Again? Rehabilitated, yeah. We take care. We have a team that work on well-being of the people. We have teams that work with the mothers of the soldiers. We have teams working with in hospitals every injured soldier has one of us taking care of him and being in touch with the families, whatever they need. We have a team working with the hostages' families. I personally have one lady, it started as because I'm Hamal Ezrachi, but today she's in Yam HaMelach. Her husband is the oldest hostage, Shlomo Mansour. He's 86-year-old, and I'm there for her. And this is the way to know that they're not alone. Be with them, be in touch with them, because there is nothing really we can do more than that with the hostages. But we do that. We have. What did I miss? We have teams all over. It's like we built a parallel state government. We have everything. And we do it, and we do it every day. We do something. So now I'm not in the Dead Sea anymore. I'm there with my heart. I'm there with it's like there is not a meaningful thing I did in my life, more meaningful thing in my life that I did. It's just, you feel so, how do you say משמעותי? Very, meaningful. You're so needed. People you can lean on you. It's very, my role was very serious. I caught it as a very serious thing to do, that I do. Many magic happens, many, like a lot of teachers that came back to Sderot, they want to open pottery. I brought the pottery that you make, and I brought them all the equipment, and now they all want to open some studios in their schools, in their neighborhood, which is very exciting. And we miss each other. It's I can go. I'm going to make a Shabbat in Sderot. I'm a non-religious thing, but I do it because I do it, and I do it happily. And I can say that a lot of conceptions were, we broke a lot of conceptions from each side. Me for religious people, for Orthodox people, that and also from the other side, it's. Every time I left the Dead Sea on Thursday, I came back to for the weekend to where I live in the center. And then, all these talks and discussions about Bibi, politics, left, right, it's like boring and not important. You want to talk important things. It's like, I want to take the whole 9 million people in Israel, take them down to the Dead Sea, mix them for 24 hours, and bring them back. And now we talk about, society, community, state, politics, whatever you want. And then you speak differently, because the way we speak and the issues should change. So that's what we in the Hamal Ezrachi, we want to do, the new Zionism. Okay, we need to work hard in order to change the way we speak, the way we act to each other, and to help whoever needs. That's what we are here for. So it's a big thing. It's a big issue. There was non-profit organization bigger than Hamal Ezrachi today, ever in Israel, and I'm very happy to be part of it. And I want to answer questions. If I don't know you, anything you want to know, I can.
Osnat, תודה רבה. Thank you very much. It was a beautiful and passionate and very enthusiastic presentation. I can tell you that Osnat is full of energies, as you can see, and good spirits and good energies, and she's all about doing. So so she just shared part of what she was doing, and definitely there was never ever such a large nonprofit organization in Israel, but there was never ever such a great need for it, because the amount of needs was impossible even for the government to fulfill, and the government being a big bureaucracy, a huge bureaucracy. It took it too long to fulfill all the needs, and here where the nonprofit organizations like Brothers in Arms could step in and just do things fast, and Brothers in Arms are very good at doing things fast and efficient. So you're welcome to write on chat. We have, I guess, the first question. So Harry asked, is there a website for your group in English? Is there a English-speaking website for Brothers in Arms? What a good question.
It's a good question. I don't know in English. I'm writing down. If it's okay, I'll come back to you with the question, with the answer about it.
Yeah, you can share it with me, and then
I'll do
share
that.
it next meeting we have. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you, Harry, if you Google Brothers in Arms, so you definitely get a Facebook page. I don't know if there's much in English because it's very much inside Israel thing. On the other hand, they do receive donations from overseas, so maybe they do have, I don't know. I mean, Harry, you're great at Googling things, so maybe
they have a lot of video stuff. I will look it up and
but I guess Harry, you're good with Google. Okay. Any further, well, I don't know, comments, thoughts, whatever. Yeah, Steve, what would you like to say?
That was a wonderful presentation. It was magnetic. It came across 7,000 miles, no problem. My question is, as a nonprofit during these stressful times, or during then, was the government a positive force, a negative force? Were they neutral? They give you freedom to do whatever you wanted to do? Would they place any arbitrary restrictions on what nonprofits could do?
The government doesn't like us. It doesn't like us because we started as Brothers in Arms and we fought against
the judicial thing. Yeah.
Yes. We Brothers in Arms are very strong. Are very strong in Israel. Either you like it or don't like it, but they're very strong in their, how do you say, mutag, mitugit, and they're very strong.
It's a brand. It's a very
brand
strong.
Brand, okay.
The brand is very, very strong. And our aim now as Hamas Ezrachi is to change it, because we're not Brothers in Arms. We can't go to Sderot, to Kiryat Shmona, Brothers in Arms. The Brothers in Arms and Hamas Ezrachi at the last month, they're separated. They're separated financially. They're separated, from people are different. They're separated in a good way, because we want the Brothers in Arms keep on fight for democracy and go to protest and do whatever they were established to do. And we're Hamas Ezrachi. We are going to do this Zionism thing, civil, community, business stuff. So we are working on a new brand for us. We're still working together. It's the same, it's like, it's the same people, but they are so smart, and so they understood. They were they were thinking about it for weeks. How we can do it? How we can, in one hand, fight, and one hand we give it. We want to help. So this is hard. This is very complicated, but it's been done these days. So the government doesn't really like us, and at the beginning they didn't give us this. I'm not very good at all the tax issues, but there is, for non-profitable organization, you can get some tax free. And so there was they were trying to do it, but it didn't work. And when your heart is open, then the rabbis come to you and want to work with you, and people want to work with us. Even Kiryat Shmona and Sderot, these are two cities that have nothing to do with Achim Laneshe, with Brothers in Arms. They don't want to say hate, but it's not from the same party. They asked us, Hamal Ezrachi, to come and help them. Hamal Ezrachi, the Kiryat Shmona didn't have place to put the school. At the beginning, Hamal Ezrachi told them, come and have the school in our offices. We moved aside so they can have place for school because there was no place to put school. So bit by bit, you dissolve the problems, and we're here to stay.
Well, I would like to add, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but our feeling was that, by the way, I don't know, you can see Osnat's t-shirt, which is black, and it has this writing of
Blue.
Says Hamal Ezrachi. Okay, Hamal Ezrachi is the civil war room. Okay, that's the word she's using, and then obviously the yellow sign is for the hostages. Now, what I have on my t-shirt, okay, if you can see it here. So my t-shirt is green, which is the military color, and it says Achim Laneshek, brothers in arms, Hamal Ezrachi. So the differences in t-shirts is because Osnat is working with people who are politically anti brothers in arms. I mean, pre-war they were anti, and so she cannot use this t-shirt, while I'm working with people who are either neutral or positive to brothers in arms of pre-war, and so I have that t-shirt. So there are different colors and different designs of t-shirts because we really want to help regardless of the political views of the people. Now, what happened in October 7, the shock was so huge, so tremendous. I mean, you can't explain how deep the shock was, and the government was simply absent. I mean, it was absent for about 2 weeks. During these 2 weeks, brothers in arms actually felt the gap, and some 2-3 weeks later, when government was back in action, so brothers in arms were already there. And that was too late to remove them because, they were already working, they already had their senses, and people were already relying upon them. I mean, people could not imagine themselves with no brothers in arms. And so even though the government disliked the brothers in arms, to say the least, but they realized that they can't, I mean, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So that's the current situation. Catherine, you have raised your hand, so please unmute yourself, Catherine.
Toda, Julia. That was a wonderful presentation. Excuse me, Asta, I was late, and I'm a bit confused. Your art therapy, but you're a nun. You said you're a nun. You're religious, but you're a new type of Zionism. I'm so confused.
I'm non-religious. I'm non-religious. I don't keep Shabbat. I don't.
Oh, okay. So you're Jewish and you're not a nun, because I didn't know. Oh, we had nuns. I didn't know that.
Sorry. Yeah. Maybe my English. I'm sorry for that. It's okay. Yeah. My mom is from Hungary. Yeah, my mom came from Hungary. My dad is from Germany, and I'm Jewish. And
okay, but you're so good. You could be a nun. So I do therapy with people who cite problems, etc., and it's art therapy, and I work with art therapists. So I love your program because I'm a doctor of public health. I graduated at Hadassah, and trauma is very, very, very hard to deal with. It's something you'll never be free of. It can happen again. It can be revived. And I firmly believe the arts are a tremendous way of treating this throughout life. So I commend you for the work you are doing. You're giving these children and people the skills to not only survive October 7th and this endless killings, but to move on in life. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine, so much.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to talk. Steve, yes, we're listening.
Yeah, I just wondered if I could look inside your crystal ball and see how you see the future for, let's say, the next 12 months.
I don't know one of our business plan is to take care not only in the south, also in the north. But I don't know what's going to happen in the north. We're not talking enough about the north. There are 80,000 people evacuated, much more than from the south.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're going to get into Lebanon or not, but people in the reserve, they got another, how do you say, tzav giyus. They're going to go again to the army in May. So I wonder why in May we're going to have something in the north. Nobody knows, actually. I mean, I hope somebody knows. I don't know. But we have some uncertainty. When I took the Dead Sea warehouse and brought it all to the north, at the same time I did it, I know that one rocket from Hezbollah to the Haifa and all the Dead Sea 14 hotels are full of people from the north. So we're in very fragile situation. I don't believe, unfortunately, I've said, I don't know if we can bring 136 hostages back. And if this is what means to win the war, I think we lost the war, okay? We lost. Now we have to say it. If we said we're going to win until 136 hostages come back, I'm not optimistic. I know that with this terrible tragedy, there are many good things that happen. The conversations a little changes, and I think something changed. And 12 months, Steve, it's a short time. I think we're going to still be at war somehow. In the south, most of the people can go back to their houses, okay? Except kibbutzim, Be'eri, Kisufim, Niroz, Nachalos, like about 5 or 6 kibbutzim. Most of the people can go back. But ask Julia, we work in Netiv Haasara, and you can hear everything, bombs and all kinds. It's not quiet.
Yeah, well, just to agree with what Osnat said. I mean, I don't think there's any way in the world that people will get back to specifically Netiv Haasara, but other communities in the area, because as long as you hear machine guns at all times, and every now and then you hear bombs, and every now and then you hear the military helicopters, etc., etc. I mean, you can't leave this way, especially not after the trauma you had. There's no way you can raise kids in this situation. So that's speaking of the south, of the Gaza Strip envelope. And speaking of the north, as Osnat mentioned, I mean, it's almost forgotten. I mean, somehow, I don't know if it's the politicians or the media or both, but it's hardly discussed, the situation up north. We are looking at how many? I'm not sure, 25,000 evacuees or so. We are from the north,
80,000 people.
Okay, 80,000 people are evacuated from the north. And the situation there is, I mean, today we had 30 missiles from Lebanon coming over to Kiryat Shmona. Houses were destroyed. A factory was severely damaged. 2 hours later, we had a drone, actually 2 of them, coming over from Lebanon towards Rosh Hanikra, which is just a bit north of Haifa. And it's keep going this way. So we definitely need a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Um,
I should mention that we hear about the North every day. I don't think it's a secret in America. Every time a couple of rockets fly, somehow it winds up in the news every day. So don't feel alone.
okay, Harry asked a question which I guess should be asked Mordechai Kedar if we ever have him as a speaker. Iran is holding back Hezbollah for some reason to not have a regional war. I don't know. The last time I spoke to Iranian officials, that was long ago. I don't know. Osnat, do you have any insight about it?
I can tell you one thing about Hamas, about Sinwar, that I heard a very interesting lecture from my neighbor who is in the Mossad, and he said that the actions that Sinwar made in what he did in the 7th of October was not coordinated with not the Hezbollah, not Iran. He managed to do it by himself. Even the people, the Nukhba that went into and attacked, they just knew about it in several days prior to the action. It was him alone and that is, nobody liked it, not Hezbollah, not Iran, because he was working alone. They didn't like it. And I don't think Hezbollah wants war right now. I'm not sure. But I think I'm optimistic about the North. I don't think it's going to be so bad, but
well, God willing. Okay, David is asking why the delay in the South. Don't you think Hamas is basically defeated?
No, we just had we have missiles all the time. Still in Sderot, in the Gaza envelope, in the north of the Gaza. So the way the IDF worked in Gaza Strip was they started in the north of the Gaza Strip, and bit by bit they went down. Mm-hmm. And now they want to go a bit east to the Rafah, but it's not defeated anymore. And we still have hostages, There in Khan Yunis, there is about 160 kilometers of tunnels. 160 kilometers of tunnels. Now you need to find the hostages there.
Yeah, we are talking about 100 miles of underground tunnels, which are non-accessible or hardly accessible. I mean, I don't feel we can talk about Hamas being defeated, having the missiles coming over from Gaza on a daily basis, and the hostages being still there. I mean, I don't see a defeat of Hamas, and unfortunately, I don't see a way Hamas will be defeated. I mean, technically, I can't see how it's going to happen. So Osnat is more optimistic than myself, I guess.
Yeah, there is an interesting parallel in recent history around 2016 with ISIS and Fallujah. It took 9 months for Iraq and the American forces to clear the city of Fallujah from the ISIS. And I don't think they even had tunnels of that significance, but it took that long in intercity fighting to clear the city. And that's probably a reasonable model for what we're faced with here, just in terms of warfare and how it progresses. We're nowhere near 9 months.
Yeah. And Bibi is not doing a good job with the American government. So, so much to fix. It's unbelievable. Really.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else would like to share, talk, express? I mean, as you see, we have way more questions than answers, but so it's maybe more about sharing than, getting information.
We have wonderful people in Israel working, helping each other. We always say that It's amazing what happened in the 5 months. People were so generous and so helpful to each other. It's just, hopefully, it's going to stay afterwards, because we were in Milchemet Achim, brother.
Lucky.
Civil war. Yeah.
Civil war, yeah. It
In
was
Hebrew,
civil
the
war.
word for civil war is actually brothers war.
Brother, yeah. And that's why I think it was easy for Hamas to do what they did, but
Right.
Well, hopefully we will be friends better than before now, and hopefully the political issue with I don't know if you probably listen to our news, so you know that we have a big issue with whether the Orthodox should be drafted or not, and should they be paid for being in a yeshiva. It's a major issue once again. And I don't know what's
Haven't we heard that issue before?
Oh yeah, we are hearing that issue starting from 1948. Ever since then we've had that issue with who is doing the military service, who is praying, who is getting paid, and how much, and why should that person. I mean, that's crazy, but this is an issue we can't resolve ever since there is a state of Israel. Okay.
Well, this has been a first-class, first-person presentation that I think will be widely received on YouTube when it gets up there. Wait till you see how many people check in and watch. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't have a couple of hundred people within a week just listening to what your explanations are of the wonderful services rendered by your organization. And you're obviously a leader. And thank you for being a leader, because they're not everybody. They're special. And you're one of them.
Thank you, and thank you for listening, for whatever you do, your intentions. This is so touching, really. It's
great.
Together.
Yeah. And thank you for taking the time to spend with us at night.
My pleasure. I think one of the things I want to do is just shout it all over the place, that it can be different, and
Well, you did an excellent.
We can become a better society. I mean, we have room to improve.
Yeah.
Osnat, people are thanking you.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you in Israel.
תודה רבה, and טוב נתראה. Bye. God bless.
Bye bye.
משוחררת.
תודה.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Julia, thank you very much for allowing your friend to join with us this afternoon. That was very good. Very terrific. We're now going to enter into our schmooze session, which can last as long as people want to schmooze. We do have one rule. During schmooze, you do have to be wearing shoes. That's the only rule. And
That's Julia. Julia's on the kibbutz, one of the kibbutzes where the kibbutz where the major massacre occurred. She survived. And so she comes and she brings speakers, and she's a wonderful, wonderful person to educate people. And I just love them because they really educate people, and they're loving. They're not fanatical in any way.
Yeah.
So I support them. So I hope you think of Julia.